Folks, welcome to the Crime Dawg podcast. I'm your host, Johnny FIORICA. Sitting alongside me tonight, my trusted co-host, David Simpson. David, welcome to the pod, brother.
I'm happy to be here, Johnny.
So, listen, David, I mean, we've been calling these politicians out for a long time. I got a video sent to me from a trusted retired Border Patrol agent, friend of mine. And we have a politician that actually went on the news to address issues with crime. I was shocked when I saw it. Before I clicked on it, I was shocked that they actually talked about it. Danny, roll the clip for us.
This evening, a 17-year-old boy now facing a murder charge in the death of an innocent bystander who was killed when a police pursuit ended in a horrific crash. City leaders tonight expressing frustration.
The decades of systemic disinvestment in these neighborhoods and in our people has a cost. And we're seeing that cost now. Kids that are doing these car thefts, you know, they're self-identifying as needing help. What is it that went wrong in their lives that they went down this path to think that stealing cars and hurting our community is an acceptable form of recreation?
What? What did she just say? Okay.
That wasn't exactly what we were expecting from the politicians when they stood up and had enough and talked.
Right. So, David, every time you and I...
Is this stand-up comedy, by the way? Was that like a bit?
If does not feel like it. Hang on, let's digest what Mary Lupien, she is a city council person. Here's what she said. Ready, folks? Let's digest it. The decades of systemic disinvestment in these neighborhoods and our people has a cost, and we're seeing that cost now. So basically what that means, that's legal new world talk after 2020, especially the systemic disinvestment, okay? That is legal BS. Basically,
politician BS. Politician.
Right. Blaming the victim for being the victim of a crime. That's number one.
100%.
Number two, what she's doing is she's blaming everybody. She's blaming me, you, the whole community, society. She's blaming the government.
The suburbs.
You name it. She's blaming everybody, basically saying, hey, it wasn't the little D-bags that were caught shooting off guns in the city. It wasn't them. No. It's not their fault. It wasn't the parents' fault for not so good parenting. It wasn't them. It wasn't their fault. It was our fault. It was the government's fault. It was society's fault.
Yep.
That's the decades of systemic disinvestment.
Right.
So that was her basically blaming everybody for a 90-something-year-old victim, which we said when we addressed it, folks. We said that there was going to be politicians that come out that were going to use this as a statistic or some type of talking point. And Mary Lupien, she nailed it. She didn't describe the 17-year-old suspect like the cops did, who said he was a career criminal. Didn't address what we've been addressing for several podcasts, basically saying, where's the family? Where's the parenting?
He's 17 going on 40.
Yeah, with a criminal record like a rap sheet, like Santa's gift list.
That kid's seen more at 17 and done more dirt than...
It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing that she came out and nobody calls her out on it. Now, I had a little glimmer of hope, David. I really, truly did. I had a glimmer of hope. Okay. Maybe she's going to be like, hey, you know what? She didn't even say anything about the victim.
Nothing.
My heart goes out to the victim, his family, da-da-da-da-da. And then get into her systemic disinvestment BS. Didn't even say anything about the victim. Blamed everybody.
Again, if you don't punish the criminal, then those that obey the law are cheated, right?
Exactly.
If we don't punish and hold people accountable for not following the rules that society has in place, then everyone that has to follow these other rules, the you and me's, the Marys and the Karens and the Janes and the Toms, they're all getting screwed.
Yep.
Because they have to buy their cars. They have to obey the law not to carry guns. They have to settle their disputes with nonviolence. So when these career criminals, these violent offenders, and that's what they are, go out there and create mayhem and turn our city into hell, they need to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. They need to be incarcerated, held, and they need to be kept away from all the good people in society. And if there is any causes of why they became, you can study that when they're locked up, and you can put things into motion in trying to address some of those, grassroots issues that do have some effect. But that's irrelevant to what's happening today. That's irrelevant to what happened to the 92-year-old gentleman that lost his life. That's occurring in the moment. And in the moment, you lock him up and you throw away the key for a while and you keep him away from everyone. You send him to the penalty box just like you would in a hockey game. You don't let him do any more time or crime until he's done with the time.
Yeah, I agree. And so let's digest the second part of Mary Lupien's statement to the media. Ready? Kids, because of course she refers to them as kids.
Which they won't show a picture of, by the way. I'd love to see what this kid,
Right.
I'd like to see the kid.
Yeah, it's what they always do. They always show the picture from second grade. So kids is how she starts this one out. Ready? That are doing these car thefts are self-identifying as needing help. What is it that what they went through in their lives that they went down this path to think that stealing cars and hurting our community is an acceptable form of recreation? For her, to refer to them as kids, disgusting.
Joke.
Okay. Because like I said in the podcast when we addressed it, you want to act like a man, we'll treat you like a man. But let's digest the form of recreation that she's saying, okay, that she's, and I'm not being nitpicky here. Like my form of recreation when I grew up in the city of Rochester, I played Edgerton Park every day almost of my young life. Okay. It was softball, it was hardball, it was baseball, it was whatever, kickball, it was football in the park. It was, okay, that was our form of recreation. So she refers these suspects as kids and using stealing cars as a form of recreation. Yeah, because what she's failing to acknowledge, because she's talking about the incident that we addressed last week.
Right.
So it was a shots fired incident on Mariah Street. Okay. It was
a gun battle.
Yeah, it was a gun battle. They jump into a car, stolen car. They crash it, jump into another car, try to run the cops over, and then they go away into the suburb of Brighton and hit the 90-something-year-old victim and kill him, the only occupant in that car. That's a form of recreation, apparently, in the city. But I love the fact, again, self-identifying as needing help.
Put this back on her, though.
What?
She said something very interesting. It's a form of recreation.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is a form of recreation to these kids?
Exactly.
Because you have no one enforcing the laws and holding them accountable to teach them that if you do this, you're going to get screwed. And the penalties for doing it are going to be miserable. And therefore, it isn't a recreation. It's big boy. It's real life.
Yeah.
And you know why it's a recreation? Because they're not held accountable. Because you let them do whatever the hell they want, and then they go and do it because it is a sport. Because you're a joke. They're telling you you're a joke, Mary Lupien. They're telling you you're playing a game, and they're beating your ass at it.
Yeah, and she's allowing. She's basically being the weak parent here, right? She's basically being the weak parent, going, "Oh no, hey, yeah, you stealing your sister's piggy bank full of her lifetime savings of $28 because she was going to buy a bike. It's not your fault that you broke her piggy bank and then bought something for
Right, you're not in trouble.
Yeah, you're not in trouble. It's everybody else's fault.
Right.
This is exactly, I really, truly, when I got the video and I saw her, I truly had a small glimmer of hope that she was going to almost hit it out of the park. She not only hit it out of the park, she struck out severely.
With the cluelessness when she mentions that they're looking at it as recreation and not tying it to no, because you don't hold them accountable for anything.
Yeah.
So it's like playing hide and go seek for them.
Yeah.
They're never going to get in trouble.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Mary Lupien. You had your opportunity. You failed miserably. But anytime you want to come on our podcast and you want to explain your side, and maybe you could explain decades of systemic disinvestment. Maybe you could explain that to two cops that actually were in the neighborhood for 50 plus years combined. So we saw how the real world worked because we were in there. We were in the gut when it was 2 a.m. and nobody was around in a back alley with real bad criminals. Maybe you could come on the podcast and educate us, okay? Or maybe you could come on the podcast and describe how these kids that are career criminals, they're self-identifying as needing help. Maybe you could do that. We'd appreciate it, Mary. David, you're all for it, right?
I'm 100% for it. My first question would be, when are they not a child anymore?
Right. Exactly.
Is it 18? Is it 19? Is it 20?
Well, according to what they're doing in New York State to raise the age, maybe they'll make it 32, 35. You know what I mean? It's disgusting.
And then ask questions like, why is it a recreation to run around causing mayhem? Who knows? I can't figure it out.
We can't figure it out. Folks, stick with us for future episodes. Stick with us for podcasts that we hold at our YouTube channel at crimedawgpodcast.com. Check us out on our YouTube channel there and also on our website, thecrimedawgpodcast.com, where you can see a library of our videos. Folks, thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it.